I'm Steve Wohlenhaus. This is Anatomy of Success. This week, to be more successful, 7 things could be making our fear of failure better. Let's get started. I'm Steve Wohlenhaus, and this is Anatomy of Success. Glad you joined us. Feel free to join us at aos.academy. That's our new platform we're so proud of, with all sorts of remarkable tools that I'm confident you can benefit from. You can connect with us on social media. All the appropriate links are there. And find my company page, weatherology.com. Grab the free Weatherology mobile app. Fearing of failure is clearly an obstacle that prevents many people from realizing their true potential. And I'm fascinated by how many competent and capable individuals create barriers that obstruct their personal and professional progress. Fear of failure is an insidious condition that often originates in childhood. Perfectionism or false sense of self-esteem. Regardless of its origin, fear of failure is debilitating, and many poorly run corporations exacerbate these tendencies. Trained in the art of rewards and punishment, most leaders are the product of academic institutions that value performance over everything else. And that often leads to a perfectionist mentality that's carried into the corporate cultures they run by leaders that believe they're exceptional but lack the emotional perspicacity to offer eager employees the opportunity to flourish. The result? There's additional pressure for the person struggling with fear of failure. Lying, cheating, finger-pointing, hurling blame are often the standard protocol in highly competitive corporate environments like this that value results over helping people grow personally and professionally. Self-preservation takes precedent over real leadership that emphasizes mentoring and coaching as the best way to cultivate extraordinary talent. In its place, grand performance by emotionally deficient leaders that lack self-awareness, patience, and compassion. Companies with great leadership have happy employees that thrive and flourish. The rest fall into the unfortunate category of the majority. Over 85% of all working adults are displeased with their leadership at their present occupation. If you're struggling with fear of failure, your current employer may be contributing to that problem. And I honestly think it's better to be a failure at something you love than be a success at something you hate. George Burns said that. So, to be more successful, 7 things could be making our fear of failure better. Source. The first step is to ascertain where the fear originates from in our personal life. Let's start to document and better understand where the insecurities originate so we can begin to diffuse its power. This will help us recognize when bad bosses trigger something that has an unpleasant history and put things into their proper perspective. Reframe. Many people dream big but create unrealistic expectations in the process that never produce results. The big picture is so huge, it creates barriers. Let's start small and be consistent with our efforts to improve and learn to be comfortable with setbacks in the process. Many bad bosses make that difficult. Their expectations are so big and they lack the patience required to offer the leadership necessary to help people do quality work and establish realistic expectations. This can cause the person to wrestle with fear of failure and a myriad of other complications. Positive training. Learning to think positively is critical for success. Many people that struggle with fear of failure easily gravitate in the direction of fatalistic thinking. Any mistake could result in failure, so even trying is often off the table. We must identify negative self-talk and start orchestrating a new dialogue in the spirit of positive thinking. Bad bosses can make this really difficult, but as we grow stronger, their negative impact has less influence. Solutions. For many people, uncertainty regulates a negative mindset that has learned to fear the unknown. As a result, being comfortable supersedes taking risks. To improve, we need to develop an aptitude for predicting the future to the best of our ability. That demands examining the pros and cons of every decision we make, visualizing outcomes, and that may include leaving a job with horrible leadership that reaffirms our fear of failure. Examine. We need to examine what could result from taking that big step forward and putting things in proper perspective. Want to start a business? Realizing things will never go as we planned and plan for the unexpected is part of the deal. It's a big risk, perhaps, so is working for a tool that makes life miserable for the next decade. Let's create a plan, understand worst-case scenarios, and learn to be bold, brave, and courageous. As I alluded to, plan is important here. So many people advocate never having a backup plan. Really? Let's believe in our dream and forge ahead. I get it. It's good to focus on the big dream, but we also have to have some alternatives put in place because that's reality. However, much of the advice offered by people that never have successful businesses for decades that have grown every year since the inception, like we have done at Weatherology, is because we always anticipate worst-case scenarios and have alternative plans. We're malleable. We're focused in our commitment, but malleable in our approach. Learn. Just because something didn't pan out as planned doesn't mean it was a failure. As you know, I prefer calling these things setbacks. That's all it is. Learning experience that makes us better and provides valuable insight that enhances our prospects for success in the future. Not failure, just a setback, a little bump, and over that bump is better, greener pastures. I'm Steve Wohlenhaus. This has been Anatomy of Success. Glad you joined us this week. Hope this benefits you in some way. There's more details at aos.academy that I think we can dive into together that can be highly advantageous for your personal journey. These podcasts are simple episodes on relevant things in life that we can talk about in an effort to make improvements personally, professionally. But what we provide at aos.academy is a far more deeper dive into some really relevant material that I think you can get some tremendous benefit from. Until next week, let's stay focused, let's stay positive, and let's stay optimistic.